Hello, hello, hello. This is AJT500 slash Challenger Track 98 slash Eloise Wonderwise slash Hilo, and this is the pre-Guild War Ramble for Light 2025 Guild War. Pretty much, if you're new to this series, pretty much I have a pre-Guild War Ramble and a post-Guild War Ramble. The pre-Guild War Ramble goes over stuff that I think may be used in the Guild War, and then the post-Guild War Ramble is a video that comes after the Guild War that just shows what I actually did use. In this video, we actually have a guest again. This time we have Cheers for Light Guild War because Cheers is the Light Futsu distributor. So, Cheers, if you would like to introduce yourself.
My name is Cheers. Just keep it like that. You should pick up Futsu. I think it's a wonderful weapon. It's gotten a lot better since the start of the year. So I would legitimately argue for anyone looking to get invested into Light to heavily consider, especially if you picked up a Orologia or plan to.
Yeah, especially with the EX Plus thing. Alright, so with that out of the way, we'll just get into, usually I always go through weapons, summons, and characters, and then we'll just kind of go through that. And like I told Cheers before, this is mostly going to just be primal focus, so good luck with Magna. Anyway, so first weapon, I feel like the first thing we should probably talk about is just the new kid on the block, the Basara weapon. So I haven't used this weapon too much, and I did stream last night and I talked about it a bit myself, and I feel like personally, like the biggest thing about it, I feel like it's for like Ura comps, because outside of Ura comps, it kind of just feels like a upgraded Eden without the HP requirements. Do you have like a similar thought process, or what do you think about it so far?
I've been messing around with this weapon, and it's obviously very easy to turn into an Uracomp, because Uracomps inherently have more grid space because you're not using like Nehan Harps, for example. Uracomps is also the only kind of comps where I really use like my two Righteous Fury, the Woh Fist, for example.
Yeah.
So in that case, I made a little interesting choice, and I would use it over a Cosmic Fist I had before, because I feel like the defense piercing was more value. But other than Uracomps, you probably could splash it in certain helps where you're not doing too heavy skill damage. You're doing like a mix, like your standard mana diver stuff. But yeah, it's very easy to throw into one. I've been seeing a few things with two, but not too much.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, it's kind of weird, because I almost feel like, in a way, low-key, like anything that's like normal attack, because obviously I'm the Earth player, and I feel like anything that's like normal attack, like this amplified normal attack, like it's good, it's really good on paper, and it's really good in certain situations, but I low-key like feel like it's not as flexible as some of the other stuff, because it's the same thing in Earth, where it's like, you know, you have an auto weapon, and then it's like, okay, I want to play a thinking Ogi comp, and it's like, okay, well, this just doesn't do anything now. And it's kind of the same thing for this weapon too, where it's like, not only is Ogi really strong in Light, but also at the same time, just skill damage is really strong in Light. So that's why I feel like unless you're doing like Ura comp, like obviously you still want to fit it in, because you want to use like the defense shred, but it's like the normal attack stuff kind of suffers, I feel. I don't know.
It's this weird little situation where it's just like, well, here's the thing, I haven't tested, but I would assume by the way it's labeled, I don't think this stacks with the extremity. Have you tested that?
I think it does, but I think you'll cap it, because I think the thing about it is, like, for example, if I go to I'll go to a grid that I have it in. I think actually this grid for my PVHL, yeah. So like for this one, if you go here, that amp is it should be this special one right here. And then if I go to like Earth, where I have extremity, it's this amp is my Medusa's, but this amp is also the extremity. So it should work together, but you're gonna cap, you're gonna run into like the cap a lot faster, I guess. So I don't know if it's worth it to put them together.
Yeah, because I've been running, Sagacity, the Sage Key, because those things where it's like, I think Extremity will still have its value, obviously, this GW, especially if you don't have to force more of these in the grid, but I think for most people, the big thing with this is you can get away with the Sage Key and kind of have a bit of the auto amp key at the same time for a lot of your setups.
Yeah.
So, if you can manage the grid space and you're got your Luo, you're sending back all your modifiers, you could probably have like one harp and take out the second one and put in this. And then you'd be better, especially for those full autos where you won't have your buffs up all the time, or like when something gets purged, stuff like that. Having that defense shred will help your damage be a bit more consistent overall.
Yeah, that is true. I do think, especially when you get up to like, because I think another thing too is, I don't know if you've really seen it too much, but I haven't really seen this weapon or UL's weapon that much in high level stuff. But I'm kind of wondering how it's gonna affect the higher nightmare floors as they actually get higher defense. I wonder how much the defense shred is gonna actually matter, because I think, well, yeah, this is the first Guild War since we've gotten this skill. Because UL just came out like a month ago, so this is the first Guild War where we'll see like, how much. Because I compared it to Eden earlier, so I'm wondering like, if you took an Eden comp versus a comp that has this weapon in it, how reliable is this one gonna be versus the Eden comp with that shred? I don't know though.
I guess it's gonna get a bit more red strength, wonders and stuff going around. Like the new, like Zocor's running right now.
Yeah.
But I bring that up because it means you can kind of make up the Eden's power, but also get the defense shredding from this. Because the biggest showcase I've seen with this, and I guess I have to mention this, can't just mention Aura as well, but Excalibur Relic Buster stuff. MC can hit notably harder with this weapon.
Yeah. Bro, I'm about to get cooked because I don't have Excalibur. I hope it's not all like a repeat of last Light Guild where it was just Relic Buster, or else I'm gonna get washed. But
remember, there were some good Ura comps. It's just harder, and if you're just gonna go, if you're the kind of person that goes 10+ hours, then you might as well just Relic Buster it up.
True. Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's pretty much. I feel like we just gotta kind of see how this weapon pans out. I know another thing too is people have been going back and forth between like 1 and 2. I'm still kind of like, I still kind of the belief that you kind of only really need 1 and 2 is kind of like a luxury, but I don't know how much 2 is gonna make or break setups. Until we get there. You have anything else you want to say on this weapon?
Not particularly. I do want to put like a note because we'll probably come back to this a bit when we get to characters, specifically Geisenberger in this weapon.
Okay.
Because this is increased like the burst range of that comp as well.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to that.
Okay. All right. We'll move on to the next weapon then. I think the next thing is probably EFS, Sandy's sword. So like EFS is like, I mean EFS is just seeking its Exalto. I think the more interesting thing with EFS now is I've started to actually see, since Basara's weapons come out, I've seen like 3 EFS comps. I don't know how viable that is or if you need 3 anymore, but I've seen that a couple times with like some, I think it was Ura stuff. But besides that, I mean EFS is just, again, it's just the Exalto, so you kind of need like what, like 2 of these in almost every comp at least, just to proc your key, stuff like that. It also plays into like the crit thing that Light has going on with the not only crit amp but also just getting critical rate in the first part. So anything to say on this weapon besides the normal stuff?
Since I unfortunately do not have a second Basara sword, I probably won't need to uncap my 3rd EFS, which I've just had sitting just in case. But this weapon is amazing. It'll be your burst, your full auto, your even if those running Ogi 250, it's your everything. It's crit amp, so it boosts everything across the board.
Yeah.
I don't think there's too much to say about it, but I think the important thing to note is don't get too hooked up in shorter rotations on trying to fill 100% crit and grid. Just want to remind people you can cheat out your crit, namely Halloween Mugen, and he ticks out right now.
Yeah. Mars 2 now. You can also get away with that. I think that might be low-key a gap as well as seeking the Mars and Mugen gap at this point with crit. So, yeah. But that is... Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna save anything about Mars for the summon section, but yeah.
Okay.
Like Mars, Mugen, and stuff like that, you can just get crit, so... Yeah.
Yeah, that is, because I kind of didn't even realize that until, like, last Guild War myself. Like, I didn't realize that I was actually just, like, but hey, Mugen just gives you 100% crit, so you can put more power into your grid as opposed to just, like, you don't have to take, like, two EFS and then a Noa Dagger into a burst comp, because it's like, you're already going to get 100% crit, so just take the EFS for the amp and then drop the Noa Dagger for something stronger.
Yeah.
But... yeah, okay. Anything else to say about this weapon?
No, I got nothing to say.
Okay.
We all familiar with these altos at this point.
Yeah. It's one of those things where I guess I'll go to the other weapon that I always talk about. Oh, not this one. Think about Earth. The other weapon I always talk about with taking PNS. PNS is always PNS and Exalto is just Exalto. So, PNS, I feel like the one thing that I can really think of to say about PNS right now is just that it may straight up get dropped. that's the one thing. I do remember last Light Guild War in particular, it got dropped because you just needed more damage because you were playing into the assassin stuff. And now not only could that creep up again, but also we also have Basara weapons that we have to fit into the grid as well. So that's the only thing I can think of, is that this weapon might get dropped, but besides that, it's just its damage cap is supplemental, PNS is PNS. So, what you got to say?
Once again, your bread and butter, all that good shit goes with your Nehan Harps and stuff. But yeah, it having that 50k general caps up, technically, it does, especially does snack with Basara weapon, but as you mentioned, it would be one of the first things to go if you want to use like 2 Basara weapons or something like that, even just 1. Because you can trade over the supplemental, and you have so much cap elsewhere. I don't think that 7% cap matters, or the amp, so you end up with a much stronger, ceiling because of the defense shredding and the auto amp. So if you really are digging deeper into auto amp, you really probably won't need Harmonia because all your supplemental only matter for the autos, and that's what you're doing. It's what transfers over.
Yeah. I think that's another thing too. Is like I think a weapon like PNS it's kind of in the same vein as like the Nehan Harps and like those weapons where it's like you kind of like the supplemental kind of matters more and more when you have like a ton of different hits, like most notably skill damage. But then when you're doing like those auto grids, it's like, or those auto comps, it's like it kind of matters a little bit less because you're already hitting such a high cap, but also just the fact that you're hitting like less times just overall, so it kind of drops off a bit. But yeah, okay. Anything else to say about PNS?
Yeah, no, nothing. We're super used to this weapon at this point, but yeah. I think if you were looking for space for Basara weapon, this probably should be the first thing you're looking for.
Yeah. Okay. So next, I'm already at the harps. So Nehan Harp. I feel like this weapon is like, it's still pretty freaking good, and I've noticed this a lot in Earth too. Like, a lot of these like a lot of characters just in general have so much skill damage going out that like having at least one of these in grids, especially for like your full auto, or like I wouldn't say like necessarily manual like auto attack based stuff, but just like if you got to do like a manual comp that also is throwing out like skill damage, like if you're manual like Mana Diver or something, having at least one of these is like still really good, and I can definitely see the damage drop when I don't have like this extra skill damage stuff going on. Plus this thing also gives like the triple attack too, which can help if you got to hit like certain thresholds. So Neon Harp still going deacon strong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you just have so much skill damage, scattered throughout light. So especially when we're going, 200, 250, and I think a bit 150 for a lot of people, you're gonna be using some kind of Mana Diver, some kind of, I don't know, Song, Lucio, Chicken, a Cosmos, whatever, things like that. That just throwing out so much skill damage where it's hard to even want to take this out because you always want at least one, to supplement the wide amount of skill damage you have. And if you're using the Harmony as well, it plays a bit into that for more value. The interesting thing about this weapon is the use of 2 versus 1. This is also something that could be considered if you're using a bit of skill damage, but you can take out the second, put in a Canis, and to do it if you're not super heavy in skill damage. The interesting thing is with how auras has progressed with like Exalto and stuff, you get about 1,400. 140,000 supplemental damage and a decent bit of the skill cap off of just 1.
Yeah.
So you're getting so much value from just 1, and then if you're using the Sage Key, that you can kind of do without because so much of the second one is being wasted by all the pumping up we're doing in grid. So I think that's probably another thing to look out for with Basara's weapon as well, is replacing your second Neon Harp.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what they're like. I think that's what they're aiming for at this point, is they're noticing that a lot of this stuff, like you said, like as we get more and more boosts from just like random stuff like summons, characters, stuff like that, like you can take out, like you don't have to stack weapons as much to hit the caps that you want. So they're kind of like trying to introduce new weapons that can kind of give you just a little bit of everything. I think that's what their plan is now. But yeah, I mean you're totally right, because I've noticed it too, where it's just like you have so much boost in the grid that you're almost hitting. I mean, you're not almost hitting, but you're pretty close to taking the cap for like the supplemental and stuff just with 1. So it's still very strong even if you just have that 1 in there. Okay, do you have anything else to say about this weapon?
No.
Okay. All right. Heck, what else do we talk about? What else do we use? Seeking Noa Dagger, I guess. Noa Dagger's. I feel like this weapon is strong, but it's like deceptively strong. Like it's good, but you're mostly just taking it for the crit and like a main hand for like Mana Diver. Like there's not a lot of crazy stuff going on in this weapon. It's just that it has this big 2 crit that's like you kind of need that to try and hit your crit amp in some comps. It's like there's not a ton going on here with this weapon. I don't know. Do you have any notes about it?
With your 4-star Luo, Sandy, and the 2 Exalto, you hit like exact in your double maxed out Zeus. You hit like exactly 100% crit with this and 2 Efes. Yeah. So if you're lacking any one of those things, you will kind of miss it. But once again, if you're doing some kind of semi-short rotation or even something a bit more than, let's say, 5 or 3 turns, you probably still shouldn't worry about if you're missing that bit too much for those people trying to scramble to get their Zeus's together and stuff like that. But yeah, this is mostly just your your crit enabling weapon. If you could have Hoagie on, then you can get some echoes from it. But other than that, it's really only been brought back into relevancy because of EFS last year.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? I ain't got nothing else for this one.
Yeah, nothing else. We can move on to Fury.
Yeah, okay. That is another weapon. Okay, so we'll talk about that. So Fury's kind of thinking weird because this weapon, like, I feel like this weapon only really shows up for like Guild War half the time, because you don't really use it for a lot of like your full autos. You don't really use it for like high level anymore, and but you usually use it for like when you got a burst, because it still does have like that special damage cap. I guess technically it gives you a little bit of HP if you need to survive, but I feel like you're mostly going for like that damage cap. So like I've been seeing it pop up a lot in the grids, like we talked about before. I remember last year it showed up in some of the relic buster stuff as well. So what you got to say about this one?
You can vaguely kind of think of this weapon the same way in Harmonium, which it can just be replaced by something else. And what I mean by that is the key thing about this weapon is damage cap up. And it has the ESAC HP defense and all that, but and it gives the damage cap SP. But at the end of the day, damage cap SP is just to delineate it from the other damage caps, but it's still just damage cap. So in more modern GBF, where we get increasingly more sources of cap up, not just like buffs and stuff like that, but like with Sumibito has like a high innate cap up and things like that, where you're so flush with so much cap that you'd rather aim for something for amp related stuff at a certain point. And because as you mentioned several times throughout your content, amp is a win harder type of mechanic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you're flush with so much cap, you're going to hit big numbers. When you're hitting big numbers, you just want to amplify that because you're going to get more mileage out of that than some more cap. So that's why this weapon generally is only used in your luchador, relic type buster type stuff, because that's when you're dropping like the neon harps and all the other miscellaneous stuff in that creates space for this weapon to come in. And then that's when this weapon gets used. So if you're want to go harder or more intense on GW, or just want to save time so you can get in and out, then this is the weapon you would use with your burst rotations, because you would just have the grid space. Otherwise, I wouldn't worry about too much if you're missing this weapon.
Yeah. One thing I will say about this, and I kind of came into this realization a little bit more really recently funnily enough with the Zodiac event. with the Zodiac event on the first boss that we got of the Zodiac event against like the fruit table thing, a lot of grids there were actually running like Folia Dante Raziel, and they were doing Necromancer, and they were running Galleon staffs. And the reason why they were doing that is because that boss had so little defense that you could hit more into the special cap off the Galleon staffs. And I think one of the reasons why we're starting to see a little bit more of a resurgence of this weapon now with like Ura and the Basara weapons is because the Basara weapons are almost forcing bosses to be like that fruit table where they have the lower defense, so you can take advantage of the special cap easier than you could before. And I thought that was kind of interesting, because I just didn't really, because I really couldn't tell it, because even when I tried to set up setups for that fruit table by myself, I was trying like normal like Medusa weapon, Seek Dagger, stuff like that, and it wasn't doing enough damage. But it started doing enough damage when I had that special cap from Galleon, and I was like, oh, so this is how the defense is working with the special. So it's kind of been in the back of my head ever since I fought that boss. How this I guess maybe they kind of bring back resonators a bit as more and more elements get the defense shred thing for I guess at least burst comps when you can hit really hard.
Yeah.
So maybe that's just like the use that they have in the future. But anyway, anything else to say about this one?
Oh, that's an interesting thing. Because if lowering the boss's defense, through the shred and all that is a big factor in being able to hit the special cap. It may be easier to possibly find a way to splash one of this in grid, because like a lot of the other resonators, for as bad as Vitality got on release, the good part is it's just plug and play. It'll work to some degree no matter what.
Yeah.
So I think it's something probably people should look into, but other than that, I have nothing else to say about it.
What else do we have?
I guess we could talk about Sacred Standard, since it got an uncap.
Heck.
Cage.
Dude, I gotta go to my Teking stash for that joint. I don't have mine finished yet. But yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
So okay, actually, that's a good point. Which cage do I use on this thing? Because I've seen attack and I've seen multi attack, and I'm not really sure which is better. Because I feel like the multi attack ones I've seen have been for like fall 0, just so that you don't need to use anything else. But then I've seen some other comps that have been like standard comp, especially since like Basara weapon gives multi attack, that they've swap to attack now, and I'm like, before I bar this, I don't really know which cage I actually want to use. So which one are you using, if you're using one right now, or which one do you think is better?
I cage mine to attack.
Okay, gotcha.
Because if I'm using it, I think it's already enough multi-attack. Because I mean, for last year when people have been doing high-low rate stuff, so they just slotted in Sacred Standard as is. So I don't think it needs more multi-attack.
I guess that is true. Yeah.
You would just need more attack, because that's what it's lacking. It effectively has no attack mod.
Yeah.
Because, progression is what it is. I think that you'll probably see this weapon in some OTK setups. Start trying to hit 100% TA or something like that for some zero-click stuff or tag team or whatever.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, then I don't know where else we use the weapon. I just think the Awakening just gave it OTK relevancy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do think the big trium, now that you mention it, big trium, because I was looking at this yesterday for fire, but like the big trium thing, like if you have double primal, your dragon summon plus your primarch, that thing legit is like, and I think two exaltos, that thing is literally like 39% TA by itself. So yeah, you probably don't really need a multi-attack awakening on this, so probably correct on that. Okay, anything else to say about this one?
No, other than that, I have nothing else to say about all that. Just want to briefly mention that.
Yeah. Alright, so next weapon, we'll go back to the inventory then. Not Katana. Where the heck is it? Oh, there it is.
Top right.
Okay, so this thing. I mean, it's HP and attack, but the main thing you're going for is these Ogi specs, which I guess, like you said before, well, I guess that was off camera, but like you may or may not have said before, this might get used for like 250 if we do like Ogi comps. So and this is the first light guild war with 250. So this is the first time that we've really had to Ogi, potentially, I guess, Ogi to that extent. So we may, this could see use. I could definitely see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good grid value for Ogi comps, because it's basically 2 CNT swords in one. It stacks twice as fast for all its stuff. You run that, your Harmonia or Neon Harps or whatever, and then you're good to go for Ogi damage. And it comes with Cosmos, so if you're gonna be running Ogi, you're gonna be running Cosmos.
Yeah, true.
You can just throw this weapon in. I guess technically even in Magna.
Yeah.
Premium Magna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think somebody actually asked me about that on stream, and I said the same thing, because like technically this you just get this regardless, and like the bottom one, it's like you're not gonna get the full extent of it, but it's, I mean, again, you're still pretty much just going for the CA specs, so yeah. I mean,
not much to say about this weapon, but look out for it for 250.
Yeah.
If you're looking for Ogi stuff.
Okay. I guess Eden? Eden? Maybe? I feel
it's
like
either that or like the Cosmos tag you get from the raid.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, we can talk about that. Well, I guess technically they're kind of in tandem, to be honest. I think the only thing that Eden kind of has over that, I guess, is that it has like the multi attack rate, but Concordia is just raw attack, so you could just use that if you just don't need the multi attack rate. I guess if you're using like Nehan, you kind of don't need it anyway if you're gonna press that button. So, yeah, but I mean,
have a decent bit about this last GW, especially for Magna and a bit in Primal, because it gets that normal attack cap up. Because your Opus key is 10%, but it goes up to 20%. So very quickly get 5% from one? And I
Uh,
saw it one in grid in a bit. I can check the wiki real quick.
let's see. Can you get to the wiki or can I put it in a grid? Which one will happen first?
It's 5% normal attack cap.
Dang,
I knew
bro.
it.
Okay, dude, I almost got gapped on this weapon last Guild War because there were setups that were using 2 of these for that I think it was like a Shiva comp that people were using, and I didn't farm. I still don't have 2. I only got 1 this time because I didn't feel like farming the second one. But yeah, I was like, I'm gonna at least farm 1 this time because I remember struggling with that comp and having to figure out like a way around it. To match that power, so it definitely can be useful for that raw attack. But anything else to say about Eden or Concordia?
Concordia knows probably gripping you'll see here and there, especially for Magna. Eden is what you may see as filler for some people if they're missing, like, I don't know, a star weapon or whatever. And obviously, if you have multi-type where you can use Eden, you can put that with your attack sacred standard and get a lot of power for your OTK if you're doing auto stuff.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Are there any other primal specific weapons you can think of? I know the next thing I want to talk about is the illustrious after this, but is there anything else that I'm missing that's like a gotcha weapon, I guess, or like a seasonal weapon? I don't think so.
No.
Okay.
Not for GW.
Yeah, not that's relevant.
Be crazy. Unless someone really wants to slot Christmas Zooey weapon in the GW, which I'm sure someone will, but I don't encourage you to bar that at all for this.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's get to the Gold Moon weapons. So I'll start off with Futsu since again you're the Futsu dealer. Honestly, I don't have this weapon yet. I'm gonna get this weapon. I will have it for Guild War, guaranteed. But I don't have it yet, so I'm gonna just let you take the reins. You can shill as much as you want. Go ahead.
Bro, I'm seeing people all these different OTK setups. I'm just pressing one button and I'm done. I go for auto, I refresh, go back, whatever, that shit's gone, deleted, absolutely fucked up.
Somebody asked me last night, what are you gonna do for EX Plus? And I'm like, I don't have anything yet, but I'm about to just do Futsu.
It's just, I see people come out all these elaborate steps, it's like, bro, I just pressed one button, that shit's gone. And the crazy thing about it is, this shit's future proof. They can increase HP to like 40 million, it still would be fucking gone.
Yeah, it's very strong for OTK right now.
OTK aside, I seen Nightmare 90 killed in one button.
Really?
That was before the Mjolnir Nation attacked. And then Saiyan sent out the suppressants, and I swear on fucking everything, I've not seen a similar video since. That's even with the 6 Dragon damage cap wonder coming out. So I don't know if that fucking ever so slightly nicked damage off the top for something that was barely passing. But I think that dream may be dead unless I'm missing something. I haven't seen anything. It's probably something out there, but
I wonder if you can just do I wonder if maybe you could just do like a summon, something like that, like Bub's call or something, and then just press Futsu. I wonder if that would.
Oh yeah, that's easy. Yeah, it's because it's not like it's far off. It's around the 45 to 47 million mark with the damage. So anything you breathe on it, plus Futsu S1 will fucking explode.
All right. So what about we'll kind of ignore like actual high level stuff right now, like Fall Zero, Hex or whatever. What do you see anything else for Guild War, like maybe full auto or like a manual setup that could use this besides like the lower floors? Do you think this could get used in any of the higher stuff?
It's really hard. I'm not surrounded with like hitting numbers. I'm sure you can, but I've been thinking about this weapon then for like 200 or even 250 because you can get it online super fast when you have the right stuff. So instead of Ogre Mash for 250, I think I'm gonna try skill mashing because light is so flush with skill damage, and because Futsu brings extra skill damage, I have to bring up in advance a Holiday Mayera, who has that GW famous buff. Do enough skill damage, the chickens come plain damage to spell. So Futsu plays in that super well for autos, so that'll probably be a reason for comfortable autos and things like that. I think I can see it being used. I'm definitely going to try it. And you're probably gonna easily get away with this 100 and 150 if you really don't want to buy Ura, because you don't want to do anything with light outside GW, and you're gonna just want something for your dailies and stuff.
Yeah.
Futsu would definitely put in work because it's a fat ass nuke. And then you press S1 after the Oro nuke, and then you get another fat ass nuke.
Yeah.
So you just start you off on the right foot.
Yeah, I'm actually interested in the Mahara stuff because I brought that up in my Annie-Tix video that she was kind of like a wild card for last Guild War, and I'm wondering if not only she could come back again this Guild War, but now I know a lot more people have Futsu now than they did before. So I'm wondering if she does come back, like you said, that they may be a really strong combo. So I'm wondering if that's gonna pop up or not.
It should be, unless every so often they do that thing where a certain amount of hits starts capping off your damage, and actually that makes it harder to hit the skill threshold. And if I remember correctly, that was one of the buffs last GW, the one before.
I'm pretty sure even then had that, yeah.
But Mahira was still used anyway, even when skill damage was being neutered, because it still just worked out. So
yeah,
I don't see her particularly going away on that front for people that are in need of trying to find dispels somewhere. But I wish I could say more in the general spectrum of GW overall, but I'm really working with just hypotheticals here, and I think you can use it at all stages if you really wanted to, but
yeah, I mean that's fine. At the end of the day, we can't really predict what's gonna happen. We don't really know what the boss is gonna do yet either, so things can change. But I mean that's a good enough sell for me. I mean I'm still gonna buy this joint. So yeah, okay. Anything else before we go on to Earl?
Cygames has been rolling out this new debuff in not this but the water Exo event, and I've seen it last water GW. The skill damage lowered the debuff. You would see 0 damage from Hosti's nuke during water GW, shit like that. That's where that was coming from.
Yeah.
So they found their lucky new toy. So I'm almost expecting that this GW, but hey, so when you press S1, it gives you some supplemental skill damage. It helps you push higher, so maybe you'll still work through it anyway if that comes up.
Maybe, but, and also the defense shred too, so it may help a little bit. Okay, all right. So go on to Ura next. So Ura, I can help a little bit on, but I'm pretty sure I haven't used Ura as much as you either. Cause Ura, for me, I used Ura when I originally bought Ura. It was back when you could still bar farm with light, so I was doing that in PBHL. And besides that, the only thing I really use Ura now is my full auto for Agostia, when I join. So I don't really use this weapon a ton, but I do know last Guild War it was used a lot for. I think I used it all the way up through 150. I think because I think the first couple floors I was able to do some mashing stuff and then counterattack stuff, and then I remember I had a 150 full auto, and I think I had a manual too for 150 that I did that had the Geisenberger stuff. So I used it in there, but I mean I feel like it's going to be stronger this Guild War because of what we talked about before with the Basara comms and playing into that. So what do you have on this one?
Yeah, it's your standard lucha rotation stuff. I think with the Basara weapon, this becomes a bit juicier for your Nightmare. 150, 100, which is the first 2 days. Probably will see this for 200 as well, because like with Ura's amp and Basara's amp and defense shredding and things like that, things that were 3 turns are now becoming 2 turns. Like I mentioned Barger a bit before, where you just kill off a dark character, do the thing, bring in Barger. He does a fuck ton of damage. He does 4 hits twice, so he's gonna get maximum auto value out of all this. And then he eats a trigger. He's at 1 HP, and then he has this assassin to play off with all this auto amp. So you're just fucking shit up.
Yeah, definitely very strong. Definitely very strong. There was something else I was gonna say that we have now that we didn't have last guild. Oh, we have Mars now too, that we didn't have last guild war for stuff like this as well. So yeah, I mean, I think this is definitely gonna be strong, this guild war. I think it's definitely gonna see a lot of use. But I mean, it's kind of like self-explanatory though. Like, oh, the other thing was we have Sumabito now. That was the other thing. We have Sumabito now that we didn't have before. We had Lucha last time, but we didn't have Sumabito, so that can also play with this weapon too.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because Lucha type class, people think tag team. I want to point out that Subai meet where Ura is fucking drugs. That's funny as fuck. Because the boss can only hit you. You have all this fucking auto amp. So you're just punching this boss for fucking like 3 or 4 million. And then you get punched back. You punch him back for several million more. Then you nuke for like a few million more. And it's just all this fucking damage. So you fucking speed run the sumo match. And I'll point this out because this probably would make it good for a 200 photo if you want to Ura. If you just run Sumai meet, you can probably even get through some problematic triggers depending on what comes up. It dispels while it's doing that. And when you come out of it, MC gets that thing where he auto dispels when the boss does a trigger as well. Yeah. So, yeah, I think you will see a lot of photos with this.
Yeah. I think I was watching Hatsu actually that was using this with Sumabito, and I don't use Sumabito a lot, but I remember isn't the match supposed to take like a couple turns? I'm pretty sure she finished that match in like a turn, and she was just out. I was like, what?
You can do so much fucking damage in this turn. Because it has this 1-turn skills, that amp and all that shit, that little extra echo. And it's so much fucking damage. And then you counter, and it's just like 7 million counters, 3 million nukes, boom, 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 all 3 hits. And it's just like, you see the number go up 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when I play that class in Earth, it takes like 3 or 4 turns to get through it. And I thought that's just how it was supposed to go. But I didn't know you could speed it up faster by just doing more damage. And I was like, oh, that's a thing. So yeah, like you said, I think using this with that class can be really strong because that class gets really strong once you win the match. So
yeah,
that can definitely be useful. Okay. Go ahead. You have something else to say?
No, I'm gonna save it for later. It'll come up with certain character stuff, things with Sumabito, because Fist characters and all that stuff. So we'll come back to Sumai meet and other potential things like that. Okay.
All right. Do you have any other weapons to talk about before we go on to summons?
Excalibur and Relic Buster's cringe.
Excalibur. Oh, I guess another thing now that you mentioned Excalibur, another thing too is Ameno. That could be useful. I don't have Ameno, so I don't know if that. I don't even know where this thing is over here. So I don't know. I guess we kind of talked about Excalibur earlier, where it's like if you're gonna use Relic Buster, that's probably gonna be useful for like all the auto amp and stuff like that. But any place you see Ameno being used in something like this for Guild War?
I was gonna put 2 of these in their OTK grid just because. Just to fucking troll people, and people like, yo, I need a minute. No, you don't even. I don't see it being used. Not after like not with like Simmer Mars, because that's where you can get your crit from. It's like I just don't. Not for anything in GW. I mean, hell no.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, is there any other weapons you could think of before we go on to summons?
No, I got nothing to say.
Okay.
If someone's going to mention Excalibur, there's nothing to say about Excalibur. It's just Relic Buster, but you do more.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Alright, so next, I'm actually gonna go, I'm gonna swing to the anti-ticks first. I'm gonna just go to Mars. Because I feel like that's probably like the biggest summon that's not just, you know, like a normal thing like Luo or Zeus or whatever. So Mars, the way I described Mars when I talked about her was she's almost like Halloween Mugen on crack as a summon. So I don't have this summon yet, but the more and more I see of her, and every single time I go back and refer to her wiki page, I'm like, this summon's kind of kicking butt this crap. I don't know how I just didn't roll for this before. I'm gonna be real. I should have just I should have rolled on that banner. But yeah, she seems very, very, very strong. So what do you have to say about Mars?
Shout out to some kind of luxury because I actually threw about 100 and some odd rolls, just hoped to get her and did.
Nice.
And extreme values since then, in ways people wouldn't even think about. I'm gonna give like a quick miscellaneous example, like when I'm doing unboxing event stuff or anything where I'm just crawling 000. Because she gives crit, I can put Efes in grid and crit with all the elements and get in and do a lot more with it and shit like that.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, so it's very fucking good for shit like that. The Veil can't be understated because it saves you a backline slot, so you don't have to run something like Summer's Owl, this Summer Potato. Are you caught up?
Yeah, true.
So you have that, the Veil, the crit, the 3 turns of 20% echo versus Artemis is like 30 some odd percent. I think the percent is slightly higher at 4-star, but it being multi-turn is very important in the supplemental normal damage because, you know, in a lot of bursts, auto burst comes you're running a fuck ton of hits.
Yeah. I mean, heck, now I'm thinking about it, that probably helps. You mentioned the OTK thing with 000, that probably helps with, like, you could do the same thing with, like, Ura and stuff too, right? You could just have her in there and just tag team, and you would just crit everything.
Yeah, it just works. I know that's part of a big reason why the Futsu stuff works is because you're able to get the FS amp out, and you can just focus all on the damage and not have to worry about the crit because of Summer Mars.
Yeah, dude, that's Seeking busts his crap. Now more and more I think about it. Who else has Seeking? Who's the other? Oh, Water. Is that the other one with crit amp? They don't have a Mars equivalent though, right?
They don't. They have no way to cheat out but 0 button crit.
Oh, wait till summer, dude. They're about to get one.
Well, they got summer buffs. They got their summer.
All right, thinking. I don't know. Halloween summon new series.
Yeah, Summer Mars is you get his shit. If you're serious about light, you should probably pick up Mars.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else to say about her?
Her crit stacks with other crits, so if you're using her in like a Mugen comp, you're getting value from both crits because of how it works. So
wait, really? Okay, that was something I wasn't, because I mentioned this on one of the streams that I thought about maybe in one burst comp you would do, like, you would come in with Mars and not hit Mugen stuff and then just wait and then do Mugen stuff later to have 100% crit like longer. But I guess you probably just use them together then, if they work together, just to get it over with faster, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely, and you could do that. Oh, I have to mention this because her stuff is dispellable. It's not. So if you're doing, you know, a 2-turn thing in turn 1 and you get slapped, you'll lose that crit. So that's something to be mindful of.
Okay. I see. Okay. Alright. Alright, we'll move on from Mars then. I don't know if there's any. I know there's. Okay, there's we can skip over like general stuff like 000, like Zeus, stuff like that. But there is Seeking, what's his face? This dude, Thor. I remember Thor got used last time. Because I'm pretty sure I used this dude main, actually. I think it was like some weird thing that I had for 150. I think it was one of Link's comps that he used this thing, and you like debuff plus got the echo and stuff on the call and stuff like that. So I don't know how useful he'll be again, but I remember him. I remember using that.
I think you'll see some use, and I think probably either duels or flow comps, because you could try and time it so at 50% he drops the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do 150 or 200, you can just, dispel a chunk of things, get some echoes, and the power to keep pushing.
Yeah. Anything else to say about him?
No, something that wouldn't matter probably for like 95% of people, but something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I feel like most people don't even have Thor max unless they just got dupes. Artemis, she did get they all got this FLB. It didn't really change anything though besides the HP, right? I don't think anything else like actually
You won't fucking believe it. The Echo, 30%, 35%.
Really? Alright. There you go.
That
5 extra percent.
A 10% extra on the T8, which kind of matters. That's kind of more worth talking about.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to skip a button, like if you really don't want to press Neon S2, which you can, which is something important for 2 reasons. 1, it saves a button. So two, if you're using, like I mentioned, Geisenberger, if you have Neon S2 up for the TA, he has a chance to dodge and he won't be put in a 1 and he won't get the assassin. That creates variance. So if you want to avoid pressing that button, consider Artemis for that.
That might be huge, actually, because I remember last Light Gale War taking that 3% on Relic Buster. Literally just seeking load in. Oh, your MC dodge, just retreat, go next, dude.
Bro, that shit was insane.
Yeah, I remember that joint. So yeah, I'm all for minimizing dodge shenanigans. So yeah. Okay. Anything else to say about Artemis?
No, not really.
Okay.
No.
Are there any other summons that matter?
I'm looking through my summons now. It's just like,
I don't think so. At least that are like light specific.
Yeah, none. No light specific summons.
Okay.
I guess for the crest summon, if you're doing a mana dive roll TK, that's a thing. But you can say that for any element.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I guess we go on to characters then. Alright, so usually the way I do characters is I just go through. I think I have everybody that matters. I think. Let me see. I'll look back at this real quick. I think I have everybody that I guess Cucuroux, maybe Ragazzo. Any of these you think you would want to talk about, or can we just skip over them?
I think Cucuroux is a way to shoot out an extra set echoes with crit with no button, kind of similar to John and triple attacks. I don't have her myself either.
Okay.
So I haven't been able to mess around either way. Rag is I think would be probably a lot of people's photo superstar, because I think with the boss doing his quick triggers, that makes him use his S2 more, which autocast. And once he gets to 10 stacks, that starts dispelling 2 buffs in response to things, and when it comes off cooldown, it'll do that too. But he ramps up decently fast, and then he starts double striking, so if you're using Christmas Illnott stuff, you get more value out of that. So I think it's all in all a solid unit. Can't be dispelled too, if I remember correctly off the top of my head. It's just no attacks. Whoops. So there's just a lot of characters as archetype that are exactly like that.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Anybody else in this list? I think we mentioned Zal earlier, but she kind of got crept by Mars, who has the veil thing or whatever, right? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, alright. I wasn't going to leave that part in, but we talked about Ragazzo, so I'll just leave that part in. We'll just go to the rest of the characters. Okay. Alright, so Alright, so usually, like I was saying before, though, usually I just go through like the characters that I have, and just if you see anybody that we care about, we could just talk about them. So I'll just start with Basara since recent.
That's the big boy on the block.
Yeah, don't look at this artifact, by the way. But so I'm gonna be real. The crazy thing about it is I actually feel like he's kind of okay. I tested him in a few full autos. The only thing that I kind of don't like about him is he's kind of slow because he presses a lot of buttons. Because like I tested him in like Osiris, and he made my Osiris more consistent than it was before. And I was like not as close to dying, but it was still slower just because he presses so many buttons. But like, I mean, besides that though, he kind of just like, he's kind of basic. I feel he kind of
he's very straightforward.
He just auto attacks. That's like mostly
he just works.
Yeah. So there's not a ton of crazy stuff.
Yeah, there's no real like spice. Kind of boring in that regard. He's overlooked, but he does just work. A lot of people are overly doom posting it like he's the worst thing, or like he doesn't. He does do damage. He certainly does damage. I will tell you that.
Yeah.
And he dispels, so people are expecting to see him a lot of GW. I think he'll be good for 200 Fuano type stuff. Maybe some unholy 250 rotation I can't even fucking fathom. Because I guess you could technically reset his S3 with Quillet and shit like that.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is yeah, his S3 is, you know, that what 512 well, effectively 512, because by the time it comes off cooldown, it's about 12 or so. Depends on what the boss is doing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that has downtime. His S1 is up a lot more often than what people would initially think, because he gets his, like, I don't know, let's say 3 turns of S1 before S3 comes off. And then that restores his S1, and then that does it every turn. And then once those 5 turns of Divine Intensity wears off, on Divine Intensity's way out, it resets his S1 stack, so his Watchdog stacks. Then he goes through that, and by the time that's gone, his S1 comes off cooldown again. So he has about 12 turns of him just dispelling at least one thing each turn.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this character, I mean, of course, I have to bring up Medusa in everything I do, but I feel like this character is kind of gonna be like Medusa, where I feel like he's gonna lead into like comfy full autos. I think that's what he's gonna be useful for, because like you said, the dispel thing is big. He also has, I was looking down here, he has the immune to debuffs as well. He also has like the dodge all thing on this one on his S1 as well. So I think he'll be like a strong unit to just have for a lot of those. I guess he has this too, the seeking hit to accuracy. Also would be useful. Yeah. So I think he's just like a strong, like, not even, I guess he's not even really defensive. He's like a balanced type, but he seems like kind of like not a tank, but just a survivability type person. So I
because he has some dodge all in this case. He has some dodge all stackable when he triple attacks too, or dodge rate.
Oh yeah, I did see that, bro. I hadn't seen that taking that debuff or that buff in so long. I kept seeing it go up, and I was like, "What is that thing?" Because like no other character has that. So I was like, "What is that?" And it doesn't help either, because it like, I don't know if it was supposed to be like this, but it was like going over Osiris when I was testing it, and I was like, "What is going on her? I've never seen this before." Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, I think he's gonna be mostly like comfy fall though. That's what I think he's gonna lead to.
Yeah, because for 150 anything below, he's too slow. Straight up.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Anything else to say about him?
But I cooked up a rancid idea with him, and people don't like it, so I'm gonna put it in this fucking video about using Makura to swap into him, so that he goes through his divine rabbit to into him. Hopefully he doesn't get hit before divine intensity goes off. He goes some full turn to that, and if he gets it low, he'll reset his skills and he divine intensities again. And that's incredibly weird because of the time it takes to go off. Yeah. But fuck it. I'm gonna try it at least twice for like 200 and at least once for 150 just to feel something. I'm gonna try it.
Hey, you do you, Phil. Hey, maybe that's the secret in Discord tech. Maybe that's the secret in Discord tech. You never know. Anything can fly in Guild War. Uh,
Yeah, but other than that, forgot nothing much to say about him.
okay. All right.
So yeah, we can go next. He's very simple. Oh yeah, one thing. He's fist proficiency. So when I was talking about Sumaimi, he will help for reach that. And if you want to think about it like this, let's say you're doing 200, right? You'll pop Sumaimi like turn 2, turn 3, if you use like Neon or whatever, something like that. So right before Divine Intensity comes up or something like that, you'll go through the sumo steps, and that push you much later into the fight. That way you can get more value out of his Divine Intensity, probably when you need it more, when you're hitting 50% or right after. So something to keep in mind. So
that is true. Okay, that also means you can just play into like Ultima too, just get more damage out of that. Okay. Zooey, anything?
Someone used it somewhere. Nothing special I have to say about it.
Okay. I don't think this chick's name is Amira, right? Yeah, Amira. Don't think so. Mini Gobu. Anything?
Mini Goblin?
Yeah.
She'll probably use some good for some people's to hip because she does debuff. She does dispel a decent bit. So she's kind of like a discount horse when I think about it like that, or she works with. Goblin Mages actually isn't that bad. She also removes a debuff on Ogi. So she's probably some kind of if you just happen to have Goblin Mage, you want to do Ogi, keep that in mind. She is actually pretty usable, like unironically.
Okay. Alright. Zooey?
250.
You think 250?
250.
Bro, look, I don't even have this thing unlocked.
But I don't think her theory would matter, stuff like that. But the big thing about Zoe, she's one of the very rare sources of persistent dispel cancel in light. So not just one time; it's like 5 turns of it, stuff like that. But I don't think it'll probably come up at the right time or things like that. But hey, it prevents you from getting blown up because she gives you like armor and stuff like that. And she's just generally a strong Ogi unit. So
okay.
Oh yeah, she dispels on Ogi as well. So. Or she has somewhere in her kit.
This. Oh no, that's debuff.
That's true.
Is it this thing? His?
No. Alright, never mind. Forget me.
It's okay. Cosmos will make it up. Cosmos will make it up. It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know. Okay, I've never used this character in my life, but I know some people were saying she could be useful for something. Anything with Anne, however you say her name.
Alright, some Plymouth mid-level like Nightmare 200 fought or something like that, because she does give you defense buff. She does dispel. She goes good with Grea, who's another decent Fauto GW character who dispels on Ogi and all that stuff. Or if you want to be a hit run, you use Uni, who presses a buff skill each turn, which gives her stacks, and then gives her that charge bar and procs her skill. But you know that's very slow, but hey, if it works, it works. If that's what you need.
Okay. Alright. Utsusemi? I know
she's
at some point people were thinking for burst. I don't know though. She actually get used?
She does say random use to personal use. She's also an early Fallen Zero option in light as well because her dispelling giving some echoes and stuff like that. She's actually pretty solid because when the boss has break status or onslaught, she does her S3 and that dispels too. She gives some echoes and data, some dodge to point E. Yeah. Very solid.
Yeah.
The assassin she'll probably be used in some people's 250. She does do pretty good damage and helps the party a lot.
Yeah, I feel like isn't she like she's like an option instead of Florence, right? I think like, or is it Nehan? It's either Nehan Mugen Utsusemi, or is it Mugen Florence Utsusemi? I don't remember what that comp is.
I don't remember either, but
It's been
All
a
their
minute.
echo stack. So it's
Oh,
just in
okay.
that general thing.
Mm,
Maybe try and play her as the damage dealer herself, so she would be the third to Nehan and Mugen, and then MC is doing whatever, probably kind of lucha stuff, but yeah.
okay. All right. Anything else to say about her?
No,
Okay.
very solid unit.
All right. Let's see. Wilnas. I remember when this character came out. I think you wanted to play with this, but anything?
Definitely not a GW character, I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Okay. All right. Moving on. Novei. Yeah. Anything with her?
Uh,
Uh,
Nothing that's come off the top of my head.
okay.
She just works with those non-attack harp cops. Whenever very meme. The only time I've seen her used is in the martial trial thing,
Mm,
where you're basically defending on people and mashing just like MC, so you're getting her like nuke per people not attacking, similar to Summer Galleon type stuff.
mm, okay. Seigfried. Anything?
Will be horoscope. He does dispel, and when he does spell, he does an attack after, where it's gets that free in turn attack. He has decent drugs in his S3, which is some defense, some hostility up, and some crit if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, the full force counter. So
Yeah. Okay.
okay, unit. If you have them, don't consider dusting off maybe, but other than that, I no superstar, but usable.
Yeah. Okay. Shiva? I feel like Shiva's only been used for like OTK stuff? Question mark?
Yeah, or he acts like seraphic weapon GTA.
Mm.
Other than that, non-remarkable even in an Ogi comp nowadays. So have nothing to say about him.
Okay. HalMal? Guessing non-existent.
Backline bench warmer. If you, I guess you had nothing bounce back there. You can put her, and you're using like mana dive. You get some crust. It's literally free damage.
Okay. Wait, does she have... What is it?
It's supplemental damage per number of crests.
Okay. I thought for a second she had Deaking Mana Mel's thing that that gave crests like just in general she's backline, but okay. Robertina. I know some people like live and die by this character. I've never used this character before. I don't know what she's used for.
She's like some not Band Satyr in that she just takes hits. Nukes that in the turn. She doesn't dispel, but she gives a bar skill specs and stuff like that. Eventually, when she wraps up, she starts giving damage mitigation. I used her in my Ratchet Street King Agastya setup when I was farming Lamino. I was bounty maxing in Agastya, fucking in out, and it wasn't even like a bad comp. He was able to hit blue chest well. I was also able to do the entire raid. But that's not irrelevant. But yeah, she's definitely useful. I think her problem would be a lack of dispels in an environment where you really want dispels. But if you have people that dispel Ogi, she does fuel that for what it's worth, because she gives charge bar every turn.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I know some people live and die by this chick, but I've never used her before, so I never really saw the appeal.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else to say about her?
Nope.
Okay. Horus. Horus. I feel like Horus is really geeking weird because Horus is. I said this in the Anti-Tix thing too. That Horus is like, she's not irreplaceable when it comes to like high level, but she really wants like the faded chain bar that you don't have in Guild War. So
yeah,
I feel like she drops off a lot in Guild War. I don't think I've even seen her in a Guild War since she's been out, because I think the last Guild War no one really used her.
Yeah, because that's when our cap was 200. I think she will see used because 250 exists now, and so if you're OG mashing out, she still does good damage, and as long as you're 4-chaining, she'll maintain her buff. And she'll get her stacks and whatever. I'll even point out that if you're full autoing and you're worried about your buffs running out, since she is always casting her S1 after OG, she'll keep those up. So
I guess that is true, because I think last Guild War the main thing people, like you said, it was 200, but even then I think a lot of people just swapped over to like Relic Buster for like what 200 or 150 or whatever. So
Yeah.
it was less Ogi, but now with 250, we're kind of forced into Ogi a lot more. So I guess maybe that is a fair point.
Yeah.
Okay. Do we need to go through Horus? Do you have anything else to say about her? I think most people know that this character busted his crap. Assuming she works, she's busted his crap. So, alright. Okay, who's next? Raziel?
No, okay. I'm not even gonna think of a
Grea.
And I touched on her. She dispels on Ogi, some defense, some attack, some charge bar. Good, Anna. Other than that, unremarkable unit. Have enough buff, you get a bit of healing, debuff removal. But yeah, okay unit.
Okay. Sandalphon, backline Betty. Question mark.
He's a mix of a backline, but he's also surprisingly good cleanup.
I guess
like
that
if you're doing
true,
like a photo and he comes in, he immediately dispels, gives people some defense and stuff.
Yeah.
He's very good at that. He did a lot of cleanup for me last GW, so put him in the first backline slot for that.
Yeah. Okay. I don't remember this chick's name. I don't remember.
Volenna.
Volenna, yeah. I think doesn't this chick she can be used for OTK, right? This thing?
Yeah,
like she has this bonus light damage effect. Or I guess when everybody has a shield. When someone has a shield.
Yeah, which hey, there are artifacts that give shields at the start.
That is true.
It's gonna be funny.
That is true.
And then she does a nuke after the boss special attacks. I mean, her second passive. I think it's her S1 she uses.
Oh yeah, wash away.
Oh no. Oh, never mind. That's just
one.
for you.
Yeah. I mean, that gives you amp. I mean, if you're really weak, then you could use this, I guess.
Yeah. Probably nothing here.
Yeah. Okay. Illnott. This one.
Ooh.
This is an actual interesting one here. Illnott goes a bit crazy. She goes a bit crazy. She also has a ton of Teaking utility as well. Teaking double delays, double dispels, the veil, plus just damage.
Yeah. Lowering those skill cooldowns, those damage skill cooldowns, doing a bunch of skill damage, making everyone else add some skill damage, some hits, using all the Mahira. That means you're really about to see a lot of hooking chickens fly. Well, even without that, her S2 don't dispelling is just really nice.
Yeah.
It's just a surprisingly good unit. When she first came out, I was like, damn, this is good. I claimed her to be like, I would rate her about 9 when it would on release, but people were like, nah, she couldn't be that good. Where would you use her? And she's proven herself time and time again.
Yeah.
Popping up in Fuados, GWs, very good fucking unit.
Yeah, I think pretty much what you said is really true, because I remember when this unit came out too, a lot of people downplayed her a lot, and they were like, yeah, we're just gonna skip this banner, I might grab her on any tick, something like that, and she has just continued to stay relevant ever since then. Like, she's been very, very strong. So yeah. I definitely expect to see her in some capacity, especially when you get to like the full auto stage towards the end of the Guild War. Anything else to say about her?
No, just another skill damage pusher. Her S1 supplemental skill damage. Her S3 is 20% skill cap once it's up for the team, as long as she's alive.
Yeah, that is one more thing. That her thing is like it kind of just revolves around her, so I guess technically you can pretty much, it doesn't really matter if a character dies or something, you can kind of like swap around your team mid-fight, and as long as she's still there, they're just gonna come in and get the buff regardless.
Yep, and she gives herself defense when she gets her stacks as well, so she's bulkier than the average unit.
Okay. Alright, Cosmos, another heavy hitter. Cosmos, I feel like she's very much in the Horus camp as well, where it's like everybody kind of knows this character's bust his crap now. But almost certainly gonna see use in 250 unless they just completely nerf Ogi in that joint, cause she Ogi's like crazy, does a lot of skill damage, double dispels, auto reactivations of the stuff, she can use this stuff 2 times in a turn. It's busted.
Not to mention S3 gives you Up to 100% defense, some skill damage cap, some Ogi damage cap. Files your taxes, it takes care of your child, cleans your car. I fucking love this unit. I sucked her early when I guess she didn't even have as much use outside of Agasia. I was like, I believe in Cosmos, and as you know, as Hex came out in 5.0, people are like, fuck, I need Cosmos. I said I fucking believed in Cosmos. What a fucking dumbass unit. Every time any Ogi unit comes out, I'll be like, why can't I be like Cosmos? I fucking love this unit.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that's honestly a good point. I feel like she's almost like, for Ogi, she's kind of like the Percival of Ogi, where like every single time a character that comes out has like a tag team, it's like, why can't I just be Percival? Like you said, anytime a character comes out that's Ogi related, it's like, why can't I be Cosmos? It's just like really. Yeah, yeah, really, really strong. Honestly, I have a very strong affinity for Cosmos and like Uni, because early Hexa, they both carried me a lot. So yeah, I like this unit. Anything else to say about her?
No, she just works. She's your source as well. She says your source is good. Oh, I have to mention one interaction people don't particularly think about. Mahira's S1 procs off a light skill damage. As you know, Cosmos was a 6 level damage. Only the light hit of her S1 counts for Mahira's auto nuke thing, by the way. Yes.
Okay. Gotcha. Alright. Bro, I just noticed this chick's primal, dude. Hey, can we get Cosmos in Earth? Yo. Okay. I don't know this chick's name, but probably not
a real unit.
Okay. Seruel. I think Seruel's kind of been crap.
All in all?
Yeah. So, but he can be used for like Ogi stuff, right?
Yeah, he's still good, and he also, guess what? A source of dispel cancel, if that matters. Veil. Some Ogi specs, a bit of healing. So he's very solid. Could be used.
Yeah.
Could surprise someone. He's definitely not bad.
Yeah.
It's just in the environments that we're playing in currently, outside GW, he's just not as useful as the newer options.
Yeah. Okay. Yurius, anything? I feel like he's kind of okay, but also doesn't really have a place at the same time.
Yeah. I guess if our body heals, he dispels every so often with his S3.
Yeah.
Be nice, but yeah. Nothing. If you're missing him, don't feel bad, but you'll probably see him on the occasional photo team.
Okay. Alright, let me go back to this. Monika.
She's interesting post the Futsu changes, because the Celestium 3 setup. You oral S1, you oral S, and then S1, so you get the 2 Futsu charges. You have 4 Thunderstruck. Her S1 is the 5th. So, similar to Celeste, it's very easy to just run into a trigger with her S3 up and just have her die and bring something up.
Yeah, that's what I do in my Celeste full auto.
And before she dies, she drops her S2, and that gives the spell cancel for basically 2 hits, and a bit of refresh. She gets your Futsu online immediately. She lets someone come in from the back and not get hit. So, yeah, honestly, for the Futsu stuff that we mentioned, she's probably something you'll really see for like 200 or maybe even 250 as, a sack target, while also immediately getting you off the floor.
She also, I didn't know she had this either, the light ally skill spec based on foe's Thunderstruck, so... Yeah.
Yep, that works even while she's dead. So while you're building Thunderstruck, you're just doing more and more damage.
Okay. So more interesting for Futsu. That's kind of nice. I like Monika, and I feel like that unit has never been used as much as I feel like I wanted her to be. So any extra use is good. Okay. Fastiva. Fastiva is mostly just for the backline thing, right? To activate this. So I mean that's still good, but that's about it.
If you have her use her, otherwise just use something else. But there's something to keep on. Oh man, Luo.
Yeah. Anybody using this character?
Okay. I do have something to say about this character. First of all, his strongest soldier, especially in release, and people were giving him way too much shit. And he's proven to be decent. But as time passed, he's fallen out of favor. But probably something to keep in mind is that his S1 is another way to cheat out crit, especially if you can stay healthy, because that gives this straight up 100% crit and keen all in one. The only thing it asks is that you don't get snapped a little too hard. And with how high HP can go, especially in Primal, I feel like that's an increasingly easier task, but all the same, there's still a bit of an opportunity cost for, another unit to do something else. He does do decent healing, he does do the attack sound stackable, the special tech stackable, but hey, he also gives CA specs, the same thing like with Fed's Field. Something to keep in the back of your mind. You might see him here and there.
Okay. Alright, next character. OTK? Anything else?
Yeah, she drops the Yogi stuff like that. She was used back when 95 was a thing, but since we basically started at Nightmare 100, I feel like she's a lot less used, but I think she's still pretty usable because she does have the intern attack, one-time assassin type stuff.
Yeah.
So an option to keep in mind.
Okay.
Especially for people exploring Nightmare 90 Celestial farming options.
Yeah.
Should be good there as well.
Okay. Noah? Anything? Don't.
Yeah, if you're manual getting 250, I guess, but otherwise no.
Weird comp. Okay. Makura?
A very fun unit. One of my favorite units to talk about because people have opinions of her all over the place. I think she's still an amazing unit. She's one of the only units I've been using from day one up until now, still for various things. And I'll use her again this GW.
Yeah.
She's great for auto. You can have her swap into Vera, or you can have Vera beside her to protect her as she prepares someone else, like I don't know, Lucy or whatever. And that gives whoever she swaps into that undying plus some skill reset buff on one of her passives. So she passes over her double strike and all that stuff. So I think a very solid unit for the slower 150s, but definitely 200 should be very nice.
Yeah.
Where you get the room to take through turns and stuff like that. Maybe people are gonna try and do Halloween Mugen Protect Makura stuff for 250 for mashing.
Yeah. The only grievance I really have with Makura is I feel like she don't be triple attacking enough and she get hit too many times. I just wish that she dodged more. Cause it's really annoying. Cause I'm always thinking about. I get so scared with buffs like this when it's like, if you get hit, it goes down. I'm like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And then I lose the other one. It's like, oh no. And then it's like, well, then when she swaps out, she just doesn't get this one now. Or the person doesn't get this one now. Cause it's like you gotta re-up this one. And it's just like I just wish she dodged more. That's it. And triple deck. But besides that, I think she's great too. She's really strong, and her buffs are really strong.
I have some points about her. That's why commonly you'll see shit like Grand Vera used with her, stuff like that. To give her some guaranteed space. That way, when the Vera shield comes down, she'll have her dodge off from like an Oki or something like that.
Yeah.
My biggest grievance with Makura is a very weird thing. Because if she gets hit, it's fine. My problem is when she gets hit once, because then she passes one stack of her S1, and if she got hit twice, she would just recast it and then pass it on.
See, that's what I'm saying. I hate mechanics like this where it's like the hit thing, because it's pretty much exactly like you said. Because then I'm like, it's like I'd almost rather you just got hit. I would rather you just get hit twice and not recast S1, because at least now I'm like, okay, at least I can take that into consideration. Like, okay, I'm just never gonna have double strike on this character that comes in. But now it's like I just gotta hope this new character doesn't get hit either, because they only got one stack. They have no leeway whatsoever. So it's just like I'm sitting there praying.
Remember, her S1 comes off cooldown the same turn her S3 comes off cooldown. So if she has no stack, she'll always recast S1 and pass that on.
Yeah.
So that's why, unless, once again, and you can't cast it when she has one stack.
Yeah. So you know what's probably gonna happen, by the way? She's probably, when she gets FLB, she's probably gonna get something like Sidala, where she can cast both of them at the same time. where like Sadala can do her S1 and her S2 at the same time. She's probably gonna get something like that. I could see that in the future. But
I would love for her S3 to do something where it just automatically adds +2 stacks.
That would be nice, yeah.
To whatever you have. Mm-hmm. So you can swap someone and have like 4 or 3 stacks of S1 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Alright, anything else to say about Makura?
I don't know, I think they're a pretty good unit. We'll definitely see use this GW.
Okay. Right. Oh snap, I forgot the thing, dude. I forgot. Force of habit.
Shaking my head.
Alright, from Makura to Mahira. We've talked about Mahira quite a bit so far already. Just with different stuff where she's kind of like the wild card of Guild War, but she can also play into Futsu. She also has the stuff with the plane damage and the spells. Just she can see a lot of use in Guild War specifically. Anything else to add about her?
No. Basically talking about her through other people. Yeah. The big thing is the S1. And she does little nice debuffs on her S2. And if you're hitting triggers, that accelerates her cooldowns. And then, so she just press the more, help her own dispels by, doing skill damage. And hell, even if you're full auto, you can just throw S3 on someone. Before you full auto, like when you're pressing a field skill.
Yeah.
Other than that, generally a good GW unit.
Okay. Oh, wait. I'm gonna do it. Go down here.
Let's go.
Okay. I'm learning. Okay. Alright. Trash tier character right here.
Yeah. Hey, we'll hate his character with good reason, but fuck, the unit's good.
Okay. Busted as crap. This is busted. Unironically, this joint's crazy too. He gets a lot of damage off this, plus just straight up can't die 3 times. Can cover for somebody with this. He's got the nukes on getting hit. All this stuff.
Insane fucking unit. You know what? I was one of the... And as the Florence Master left, after they first dropped, that's when the people start saying, I think Colleen Mugen is a higher value than Florence. After the fact. And I still feel that way, and obviously in GW there are going to be people, doing the Relic Buster assassin stuff, but even outside of Florence, Mugen has extreme value at all levels of play.
Yeah.
Good for your photo, good for shooting out your crit, good for your high level protecting, your rabbit target because someone thought permanent substitute with permanent element switch and dark damage lower. So it's being very fucking funny.
You can't die either 3 times.
Yeah. Yep. And guess what? Depending on how you hit your skills, you can press that button several times. So you technically have up to 9 undying if you want to be really fucking funny about it.
Honestly ridiculous.
I fucking love this dumbass unit.
I don't know what they were thinking when they released this joint, dude. That banner was honestly insane. But yeah, I mean, anything else to add besides you just bust his crowd?
No. It just works. Your crit, your damage cap, and your amp.
Okay. Alright. So his old partner in crime that is useful for Guild War but has been dropped in almost every other place, Florence. S1. That's what she's here for. She's here for S1. I mean, honestly, pretty much if you don't know what Florence does, she just gives a super mega assassin to somebody, and that's pretty much it.
Yep.
Anything else to really say about her?
So probably popping off extra hard because of Basara's weapon with the Relic Buster shenanigans.
Yeah, I've already seen 7 mil and 8 mil autos coming out. So
I've seen the 7 million on Super Bahamut, which by the way, that was with Earth 10, by the way.
So
that's base 40 defense, by the way.
Busted. Okay. Aglavale.
Photo core, Veil, skill damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Slower photos, but hey, he's nice. I was to say photo core. Nothing much more to say on that.
Okay. I feel like on the opposite side, Strum is OTK. That's about it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Good OTK.
Rosamia, anything?
Interesting rebalance. Little nothing, you no place to use her, but hell, she just once she gets her talisman going, she does dispel when the boss does a special attack type thing. So that could be useful, and she has healing and debuff removal conditionally and all that stuff. Something to keep in mind for 250.
Okay. Silva, backline support.
Backline support, pot.
Yeah.
But much enough. Don't really need it for GW.
Alisana? Nothing.
Bastard unit. I sparked on a 3% banner for Nehan to come out like some odd months later. Because this was way back then, like 2020, some shit like that. 2021 or whatever. Yeah, ain't no way. Ain't been used since.
Yeah, true. All right.
3% spark, by the way. Never again.
Fresh? OTK?
OTK core. She also collab units with usefulness.
Yeah.
You have her or you don't.
Yeah.
Backline.
Support.
Backline bot, charge bar support.
Okay. Alright, who else? Kumbira.
Interesting.
Yeah, so this character, I feel like she's still really good, but I feel like she has dropped a bit. Like, I don't use her for like everything like I did when her FLB like first came out.
Yeah.
But she's still like strong though.
Absolutely.
Oh.
The numbers you can get out of her S4 nowadays is actually absurd.
Yeah.
Something like 50 million.
Yeah. Yeah, she'd be ripping up Osiris, bro.
She technically could be used in burst rotations if you're lacking things, because she has that sub ball as well to help you skip a trigger. She does do good damage.
Yeah.
She gives imperfect crit. It's like 70-30, so I wouldn't rely on that for cheating out crit. But I just have to point that out.
Okay. Anything else to say about her?
No. Solid unit. Probably be used across the board.
Yeah. I definitely think she'll be used, even if it's just by people who are like missing something else. I think she's like a good filler unit if you don't have like everything that's like optimal. Luna.
Will that be used? You can copy songs S1. It's copyable for that 3-head flurry. And she gets a social triple attack. You can copy Lucio's S3 that was used also last GW. Unironically, a pretty great burst unit for copying those two things.
Yeah.
And then giving herself triple strike.
She also can just like die. Like she can come in burst and then die if need be. Yeah. So
it should be she made him to die for no other reason. When she presses a skill, she gets dodge all that turn.
Yeah.
She's just but yeah. If you guess you need something to die, you can press some buttons and she'll die eventually sooner than later.
Okay. Neon. Another I mean, Neon's busted, but he's busted in like a different way. He's busted in the sense that he makes everybody else busted. So
yes.
Like he's still very strong. The taking double strike, all these like I feel like a lot of times you want to try and skip out on as many of these buffs as possible just to reduce buttons, but the buffs themselves are still mad strong. So yeah.
Yeah, there's Neon. You may see for 250. Guess what? Guess who gives 100% charge bar gain up because someone thought that was a good idea. I bet you they fucking regret that shit. Absurd amount of fucking charge bar. Yeah, he's a burst unit, they said.
Yeah.
As he appears in Hex and Fa.
It's honestly crazy. Like it throws me off because I actually just recently made my my full auto Agostia comp, and I was like, oh yeah, taking Neon just in some Ogi comps, he's just sitting there just to be a support, and it's like, god dang, bro. Yeah,
it fucking worked. He's why Erish has minus 200% charge bar. They're not fucking around.
Okay. Alright, Uni. I feel like Uni is a manual-ish character, but I don't know if for Guild War. She's kind of like a high level, I feel. Not. I mean, I guess maybe 250, but ain't nobody trying to do all that.
That's too slow even for 250 Fuado standards.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. Alright. Melissa Bill? This is the OTK one, right? I think she's the one that.
Oh yeah, when you
can
get
press
hit.
a button. Oh yeah, when you get hit. Okay. Yeah,
She'll do some amount of nukes. If she gets hit hard enough, she'll do an extra nuke. Yeah.
Okay.
You get she get dispel. That's too. So if you have her and you're looking for a use, you can make up a reason to use her if you want. Other than that, she exists.
All right. Any of the characters on the rest of this page matter?
Lighter Lumaya general buffer cope option. Nothing to write home about, but I just like pointing her out. Kags. 4-star win, 5-star whatever. Uncap, please. Buff S1, thanks. Maybe people use Tico frontline. They'll throw on her S. Oh, Feather. Interesting.
I know.
Will definitely be some people's Nightmare 100, 150 type character. He punches a fucking lot.
Yeah.
He does a lot of intern damage. He does his damage using a lot of faster in Fedio Photoceps, for example. Actually, strong unit.
Yeah.
We'll definitely see use from a decent amount of people.
Anybody else? I think you were talking about something about Tico. Sorry, I just saw Feather.
Oh yeah, no. Tico's one because you probably press S3. Hope the healing and debuff removal is enough, but nothing super core.
Okay. Anybody else on here?
Nah.
Okay. All right.
Ain't no win. What that page 4 looking like?
All right. We'll just start with John. She goes in like the Mugen Nihon if you just don't want to press a button, essentially, right? Just for the unique echo. Oh.
Yep, unique echo, press button, just win. And I mentioned Summer Cucuroux earlier for kind of the same thing.
Okay.
I don't know how they stack up and things like that because I don't have the summer one, but Jam will probably see some use for people doing auto-based Nightmare 90 clears, absolutely. If you're really trying to min-button that.
Yeah, I used her last year too. So, okay. Lily, no.
Ain't no way.
Okay. Borger.
Love this guy.
So we talked about earlier with like the the auto-based comps, especially with Basara's weapon.
Yeah.
Definitely think he's strong. I think another thing too, also, I don't know how hard this boss is gonna hit, but also just still the cap damage thing, he could still be useful just backline as well. But I think his main thing is gonna be in those Ura burst comps. That's what gonna be useful for.
A change from comps now versus then is we have a new uncallable summon by Yatsuba to put in your grid in Orologia, so you can have your Orologia nuke and then the Yatsuma call. You kill some dark character. Don't kill Nier, by the way. I implore against that. People often forget she is like minus 100% TA.
Yeah, me. I forgot that.
I've done that before too.
Yeah, I did not even know that even existed.
But yeah, once you do that, he comes in, he gets his buff, he can quad attack, he press S3, he gets that undispellable echo and double strike effect for 3 turns, which is all you need. Is he hits once again a really fucking hard Basara weapon, all the Efes amp, all that shit. Gets put in 1, he gets the assassin, punches some more, boss is dead. Damn, that's nice. No variance if you can avoid the Nihon S2 because he subs all. He just eats that shit.
So yeah, I definitely think you could see some use. Let's go war.
I guess is one thing to keep in mind is especially if you push it to patch past 50% in 1 turn. His divinity buff he uses 2 quad attack is dispellable, so he'll just triple attack instead.
Actually, just gotta give him dispel cancel off some other character. Anything else to say about Borger? Or move on? Okay.
We're good.
Alright. Okay. Anybody else anybody in this spot matter before Vera? Any of these characters?
Oh, ain't no way.
Okay.
Not in 2025.
Alright, does Vera matter in 2025?
Pretty good at protecting you. Give you some space through. People that use her to protect Rabbit or Rabbit into her. To for that protection later when you need it most. Also giving her that buff, that way if she gets hit too hard, she resets and immediately puts back up her Aegis. She dispels with her S2 and does it on Ogi, so she's very GW friendly, all that stuff. So pretty good unit if you have her. Literally usable, very good.
Okay. Charlotta?
Ain't no way, and I have her ringed.
Okay. Do we want to talk about Song, or do we want to save her for Foom Foom?
Oh no, we can talk about Song now.
Okay.
Like I mentioned with Lunalu, her S1 is copyable, which is the Echo and the Flurry. So she's very good in burst alongside her. And with the big sweeping Eternal Rebalance, she gets her debuff for her S3 right away. She still has her set of debuffs, and they added her dodge delay. They added Dispel to that, so that could be useful for some 150, 200 plus type stuff.
Yeah.
For those probably doing some kind of burst rotation with her, the dodge may matter because it may help peel off some debuffs for your rotation. So she's definitely worth keeping in mind.
Yeah. Also, like you said, with the chain, she can also now use S4 like multiple times as well, depending on how long the fight goes on. Also, just does a lot of deking hits with that auto nuke at the end. Yeah, she could definitely still be useful.
Yeah, once you build up Ultra Sight, that's another set of echoes for her. And every 2 Ultra Sight, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, you get an extra nuke after an auto attack, and that's why she's a popular Rabbit target, because it lets her build up her stacks really quick, get more nukes all around. She has her dodge rate up. That could be something possibly used, but yeah. I think you will see her a decent bit this GW.
Okay.
She probably won't be optimal for things, but she'll be close to it in a lot of cases.
Yeah, another good, like, kind of like Kumbira, where it's like a filler unit if you don't have everything that's like optimal. Alright, we'll skip Foom Foom for now. The only other character that I see on here is potentially Albert, purely because of Futsu. I don't know if you actually use this guy, but I know he has Thunderstruck, so I don't know.
He has a little indeterminate nuke thing, and all that stuff. Okay unit, but I
wouldn't
ain't no way. Low key.
Okay. Alright. I think the only person on here is Lucio, right?
Yeah. I know people use the original Zooey before you go Christmas Zooey, because she has that delayed full heal, just like a brings you right back to your feet type thing. So often you see her in Fuados and maybe be used, but just an option for people to keep in mind. Now Lucio, that's a guy. Also,
yes.
What an uncap.
Yeah. Very, very powerful character. Doing a lot of, he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's got taking shields, heals. He still has this thing that's really good for this. He's got the double strike on this. He also has the taking the full heal when somebody hits red, which is also very strong. I know he saw a lot of use last Guild War for full autos.
You'll see more of this,
yeah. I'm expecting to see him again. Also does a lot of taking damage with this thing and just keeps redoing that thing.
I love Lucio. The best thing about him, he gets his stack Ogi on or Ogi off. He can just TA to get his stacks, or he can Ogi resets S2 to get his stacks. He's building those stacks either way.
Yeah. So very, very strong. Anything else to say on him? No?
Pretty good Rabbit target. He has built-in dodge rate in his kit ever since they removed that defense penalty thing. And even if he comes in later from being swapped, the turns count for his ramping, so he comes in ramped up as well on that end. And then with double strike S3, when he comes in, he presses S3. He's dark damage immune because he has that 100% dark cut. So he's very good at holding Rabbit's buff for a decent bit as well, while he's speedily getting to his 6 stacks. So Good unit.
Yeah. Okay. Alright. Is there anybody else that we haven't talked about besides Fum Fum that you want to talk about?
Yo's fine, I guess.
Okay.
I guess Fairy is worth mentioning because you'll see her with like people press her S3. So maybe some people when they're doing like 200, they'll take like a friend Artemis, hit that number, press her S3 and attack or something like that because that GTA, that extra echo and something like that.
Yeah.
Something to keep in mind with Fairy if you're looking for options for Nightmare 90.
Okay. Alright, we'll go to Fum Fum. I mean, I like Fum Fum. I've talked about Fum Fum a couple times on stream. I like her, like the rebalance. I like how she operates now. But you're excited about Fum Fum, so I'll give you the floor. Go ahead and say whatever you want to say about Fum Fum.
An absolute winner of the fucking rebalance from a 0 to fucking hero. I don't think people understand how much the little things in the kit have been just expanded into this so much. First, I'm gonna start up. Guess what? She removes the debuff on Ogi GW core. I'm kidding, but I'm not kidding. That dark attack, multi-tech down, all that stuff. She had that before, but with the rest of her kit, being real usable, that's just it feels better. Auto-casting her S1, cool. We all know about that.
Yeah.
Auto-casting her S2 is one of the real fucking interesting things because GW bosses fucking love debuffs. So this shit is going to be fucking flying off. And interesting enough, once it flies once, she immediately you're debuff immune for a few turns, up to 5 turns. And you comes with that dispel cancel.
Yep.
So remember I said like doesn't have a lot of sources of dispel cancel? She's one of them. And it's on a low cooldown and it can auto cast sometimes. But by the way, people don't know that Bump just straight up has like about a 10% chance to cast her S2 for no fucking reason. You don't even have to be debuffed. And notice, not deal, she just fucking casts and like, sure, thanks.
Just felt like using the S2.
Yeah, she just felt like, I feel like using it, fuck it. And then we go to S3. I love this skill. First of all, she starts out with this, very good. So she's technically OTK compatible for auto, because she has the eternal damage buff. She has her, her echo or perp mod and all that stuff. So she comes out the gate swinging.
Yeah.
But that meme aside, Magic Rebirth, the one buff at the top, is very, very important for GW shenanigans. And it's why I think she'll be a superstar for a lot of people. Because, people talk about reflect memes and all this shit. That doesn't fucking matter with Fumf. Like, I'm using MC, and you have, like, your bubs, your translux, you're fucking trucking along, Futsu mashing, boom, 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 boom. Here, reflect, 7k. Oh, did you get your fucking jump scare? Your MC fucking explodes. They come back, and you know what? They still have all their trans stacks. They have all their Wings of Promise from 000, whatever, any echoes and stuff, because it preserves every single buff you have, so you lose no momentum from fucking doing this. As you just keep going and going, and if that shit come out cooldown again, you just put it back in MC and you just keep trucking. So people are like, oh, what if you die? It doesn't matter. You can't be fucking stopped. We're talking about Sir, what if he dies during Divine Intensity? Now with Fump S3 up, that shit comes back, he has it up. What if your dies with her S1 up? She comes back, she's still fucking in substitute stance. If Lucio dies with his S4 up, which would be really fucking tragic, nope, it gets preserved, so he keeps his nuke at the end of the turn, you lose none of your momentum. Any buff, shield, anything you have is preserved. So the most vile GW mechanics will not fucking matter for just nuking someone because they will keep that shit. People are like, oh, I'm not sure. What if Cosmos dies or anything like that? Bring Fumf along. Put S3 on a Cosmos. If Cosmos gets fucking exploded, she comes back. Guess what? She still has her Halo of Attunement effect. Which, by the way, when you revive from this, you revive at 100% HP. So you're really ready to fucking go.
Yeah.
And it's uplift and all that shit. So anything you think that's value that comes from GW, S2, dispel it off. Oh, what if they kiss character? S3, they're fucking back. Who the fuck's gonna check you? Who the fuck's gonna stop you? You know what? It gets better. I can just go to her. I'm gonna go straight to her fucking passive. She existing lowers the dark damage you fucking take. On top of her just lowering dark attack. Okay, you literally are fucking denser from her fucking existing on your party. This character is fucking correct. And you know what? By the way. Ogi stuff again. Press any of her buttons manually, you get some fucking charge bar. Ain't that fucking nice? Oh, the boss puts slash or something on you, and for whatever reason it doesn't get cleansed, she lowers damage taken. Or you're using some other comp, or you don't want her in front line. If that thing that lowers dots you take works when she's in the back lane as well, if you want to put her there as well. We know about her auto casting S1, and you can stack healing cap all sorts of fucking ways nowadays. You know, Lucio Suborn, that shit. Get the fattest fucking heal you need. I fucking love this fucking character. And don't even get me started on the flurry of buffs she has. You get some light attack up, some CA specs, damage cap, charge bar up. Which, by the way, that damage cap she gives stacks up to 25%. 25%. That's insane. 50% light attack up, stackable. She is giving you drugs. That's independent if she puts S3 on someone. This is your funnel core. Hell, if you're mashing at 250, who the fuck's gonna stop me? When I'm going through that Futsu, what the fuck the boss gonna do? I mentioned that debuff thing with the lowering skill damage. Wouldn't fucking matter. Clean that shit. Get that shit off me. Hell, if you just wanna fucking feel something, put S3 on Geisenberger, let his thing expire. He comes back to life. He still has all his switching buffs and shit. You wanna be fucking funny. The amount of ignorant shit that you can do with this is insane.
Yeah,
I love this game.
I do think one thing that I'm kind of looking forward to. I feel like Funfun has always been like really strong, but she's never the biggest thing with Funfun is that her skills didn't activate in full auto. That was like the biggest thing, like no yellow skills. But now, like you said, she has so many passives, she has so many auto activations, and now it's almost kind of a boon that she doesn't press buttons because now you can go faster. She can do everything by just existing. Just being there on the party, she just does her stuff, and you don't have to worry about pressing buttons or anything. So it's like I think this might finally be the time where Funfun comes to the front line to seeking Guild War, because she's always been good, but it's just rough.
And guess what? Press S4 if you need a heal. She has that, by the way. If you need foil on top of all this other fucking crack, what the fuck is gonna stop you?
Food definitely very strong now. Very strong. She's been popping off ever since she got that rebounds. So
yeah, she's so good, dude. All those are play. It's not even just in game. You can use your Celeste and all that shit. She just works. It just works.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I have to say on Fun. You heard about the rant. Here's the Glaze. The Glaze video.
Okay, is there any other characters that you'd like to talk about before we wrap it up here? Anybody else? I think we kind of went over everybody. Oh, anybody that could be relevant, I guess.
Alright, look at my characters. I see nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing I could really talk about. I think we covered everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Alright. So that's pretty much weapons, character summons. Anything else you'd like to add for light Guild War just in general, or light in general? Like to say
Anti-Ticks is still there, so really look at your options, your Mugen, your Summer Mars and all that. And if you're looking something, commit. Also uncap your fucking Fump right now. The believers will soar.
It's the same thing happened with Gwyn too, where they said the believers we're gonna come out on top with Shishio. What, were you gonna say something?
Oh yeah, one thing I guess you should mention it. Since Exocore is going on right now, the staff that came out.
Oh yeah, I did finish that today. I don't know, have you gotten a chance to use it? I haven't been able to use it yet.
No, I haven't gotten a real chance to farm a Zeno yet. I've been doing a bit of missions here and there, but I haven't sat down and grinded it yet.
It does look okay for I don't know if it's really gonna get used if you have Futsu Noa Dagger, but if you're Magna, I think this is probably your best weapon just in general to use Mana Diver, right? I don't think there's anything else. There's no other. I mean, I guess technically you have Concordia, but besides Concordia, there's no other really good main hand for Magna. So
yeah,
they released this right on time. So
Yeah. So I just want to give this a brief mention.
Hmm.
Because you're good at Magnamine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't really have anything else to add. So, anything you want to shout out or talk about at the very end?
Shout out to Simple Flips.
Simple Flips? What is that?
Yeah, you know Simple Flips is? Mario speedrunner guy.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's a meme.
Gotcha.
So that meme started, people would just say shout out to Simple Flips.
Okay. Alright. Alright, well, I mean...
Oh, one more thing. I fucking hate your chat, by the way.
What the heck?
Oh, you people from Discord, you fucking freaks. I want to let you know I hate you all. You're all, a lot of you good people, but I also fucking hate all of you. I just wanted to put that in there, you fucking demons.
Hey, it's the degenerate
Leave Aku alone.
Yeah, Aku's going through enough, bro. You don't need no more.
But yeah, that's it. Okay. That has to be the video.
Alright, well, that's all. Thanks for the support. Thanks for joining me. Cheers. Much appreciated. I definitely needed a light player of your caliber to assist me.
Thank you.
So, thank you. But yeah, that's all I got. So, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.